Like
overnight.
1 second and we're live.
Okay, live. Yeah. Anyway.
Live.
We're live.
We're live?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. It's Will Faerber here, and we're here with the Branchinis today in Ithaca, New York. Darcy's here with Calvin, and she's just getting us caught up. They've been very busy here. Give us a little rundown for everybody so they know what you've been up to.
So I have been really busy, so I haven't been as consistent in working him really since the clinic. So I felt like we got to a really great place in the clinic, during the clinic, and then that week after. And then things kind of fell apart for my consistency. But I was able to keep him on a lunge line maybe 3-4 days a week, as well as some work in hand, and he's been doing really well at that. So I'm hoping today goes well. Excellent.
Well, they're saying, just standing here looking at him, she was saying a moment ago before we went live that his canter's looking good, and his body looks really good. There's no hay belly there. He's not distended. His flanks aren't all distended. So anyway, that looks good. Let's get started with a little work in hand, and away we go.
Okay. Sounds good. Give me your Calvin. Calvin, if you would stop, I can get the rein on you. There you go.
He's ready to go.
I believe that, actually. With this wind, I think he is really ready to go.
It's funny because we don't hear it at all. I'm not picking up any wind noise.
Wind and rain, and then there's like leaves hitting the building. So.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's quite active. He looks quite energetic this morning here, starting off. Let's go ahead and keep going large. Let's work in the stretch a little deeper as we go. Takes it a little more actively down. Yeah, like that. It's looking really good. And keep that going on up to the other end, and then turn by the center line and do a leg heel to the right.
Good boy.
Nice there, good. Really good active step today. Now let's try a little bit of shoulder in down the next long side, so just displace his shoulders a little more to the inside on the next long side. Nice. Good. Now in a circle there, let him go really deep now. See how active we can get him. And on a circle. Just try to move the hindquarters out just a little bit. Like that. Boy, he really got a nice walk today.
Hey, hey, hey.
He's got some energy. Oh, I'm not here. Good. Now let's bring him up from the stretch. So begin to shorten your reins and bring him more up into a working walk and see if he'll stay soft in your hands for you. See how he does with that. And go ahead and work onto a circle there. Yeah, very nice. Like that. Very nice. That's actually a good shoulder in right there. Yeah, a little more active. You see how that's a little bit harder for him. He starts to lose the back end a little bit, so you may have to tap him there once. Keep it active.
Come on. Walk on. Walk. Good boy.
And push the hindquarters out just a little bit more.
Over.
There we go, like that. There we go. Get a good shoulder in going like that. Good. Now stretch him all the way back down again. Nice. And then open up. Every time we stretch back down, be sure to open up the walk again. So try to get it a little bit longer each time we go back into the stretch. There. And as you come around to the center line this next time, you can halt and change directions.
Whoa. Whoa.
Love his activity today.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, just standing here looking at him, he's really starting to look much more athletic than he used to look. Just coming out of the stall there, so that's good. And go ahead and turn by the center line here at this end and leg yield to the left. There we go, starting to get it now. Good there, keep that going. More steps. Very nice. And go ahead and shoulder in down the next long side.
Come on, Calvin.
Very nice, right there, good. Keep that.
Yeah, boy.
And then onto the circle here. Let him stretch all the way down again. A little bit deeper into that, move his hindquarters out a little bit. There you go, that's getting better now. Good. Hindquarters out just a little bit more again. Still want it a little bit deeper there before we start to bring them up. There we go, like that. That's good. Good, now bring him up in the ring. See if you can develop a working walk, which is basically the same walk you have, just bringing his pole up without changing anything is what we're going for here.
Boy.
Like that. Good job there. You're softening nicely into the reins. Very good. Right there. That's good. Right there. Very nice. That's a good walk. Right there. Very nice. You didn't lose it that time. Very nice. As you come to the center line here, you can ask him to halt. And just keep softening a little bit and see if he'll stay soft in your hand a little bit as you bring him into a halt.
Whoa.
Not bad at all. Very nice. Okay, let's go on some lunge lining.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. He looked very active. That's probably the most active just on his own, like carrying himself without you having to,
I don't
come
think
on.
I can take credit for it. I think it's just
Yeah.
the weather today.
Well, he's become a lot more athletic. So, of course, on a cold day, he feels like moving. So you start to express themselves.
Okay, back up. Back. Hey, back up. Back. Thank you.
Yeah, we're having one of those weird California years where it's just like summer here right now. It's just,
wow.
as it was.
It's
Nothing
like
has really changed.
rain. It's going to be a mud pit outside. I hate this time of year. I'd rather it snow at this time of year and freeze, you know. So do you want the side reins on his girth, or we're doing it?
Yeah, let's put them on low here to start with, since we haven't seen him do this in a while. Then. So
Okay.
put them low to start with, and then we'll bring them up if we like what we see there.
Back. Calvin, stand. Just stand. He's so antsy right now. I'm not used to this.
Ready to go. Hey, you guys, stop it. Come on. I have animals in here trying to tell me it's dinner time.
Oh, really? Stand. gonna break my dressage whip because I put it on the ground. Whoa. Whoa. Hey. Can you please stand? Whoa. 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 Thank you. Calvin. Hey. Stop. He is definitely ready to move tonight. He's like, I don't want to stand. I'm ready to do something.
That's a good sign. Notice how even just him standing there, how that his lower neck has become so much more relaxed. You don't see any of that pronunciation of the sort of U-neck stuff. That's all gone. And that's always something to look at. You know, for instance, that horse Lip that we have, when we first came, he always stood with his head pulled back into his shoulders like this and his back completely hollow. He stood like that all day long.
Yeah.
And but now he looks totally different. Now he stands, his back is lifted when he stands, and the neck has come out in front of him. So it's really interesting to see how, and that should be the goal. I mean, this work, if it is done correctly, remember, because the ideal of dressage was to perfect the natural gaits of the horse, you know, not some weird thing like we see being done in other types of riding, but also what we see in dressage today, unfortunately, because we're no longer seeing natural gaits.
Okay, come on. Now you can move. Come on. Good boy.
Really nice walk starting off. It's so nice when they get to that point. I mean, that's what we call impulsion. When the horse continues to move on its own, on its own steam, that we don't have to, you know, be prodding it every step. Very nice.
Come on. Walk on. Walk. 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 Good boy.
That's really good.
That's a boy.
Excellent. All right, you can go ahead and trot him. Really good. And of course, if you're on your own, you can spend as much time as you like in that walk because it's so good today. But
I just want to see if he has to pee because he was.
Yeah, we know how he is.
Maybe not.
Well, he usually asks for it when he wants to, right?
Yeah.
He usually stops all by himself.
Okay, ready? Drop. Good boy.
Really nice. Very nice. Boy, this is starting out so nicely.
Good boy.
Those looking at how his belly is already pulled up. And of course, that's because it wasn't totally distended to start with.
Come on. Now I just got to work on my own.
I finally feel like I'm getting back in shape. Happy to say.
Good boy.
That's really good. Now, those of you who've watched this horse for a while, if you remember how he used to just be really pissy every time we'd start him off, you know, the ears would be back and it would be a big drama to get him to move. But he's definitely come a long way since those days. Really nice. That's really nice. How nice and loose those hocks are becoming now. Flexing them is really good. Wow. Really nice.
Good boy.
That's by far the best he's gone. This is really nice. Looking really good. As Nuno Oliveira used to say, he looks like he's in the system.
Good boy.
Go ahead and ask him to canter. Let's see what that looks like.
Okay, ready, Calvin? Canter.
Really good. Keep it going. Yeah, very good. Like that. That's what we want to see. Starts to swing over his back in that. Really good.
Come on. Come on. Canter.
Now come back to the trot.
And trot. Good boy.
Really nice, right there. And as you come to the center line, you can ask him to halt and change directions.
And whoa. Good boy.
That was by far the best he's lunged. That was
I
great.
know. I was actually thinking maybe the riding is my problem, right?
Well, no, I mean, I was talking to Ron about this earlier, and for all of you listening to this, for all of you who have green horses, horses that you're retraining or young ones or whatever the case may be, you always have to remember that it really takes about 2 years before horses become rideable, And that's the unfortunate thing because, of course, people buy horses because they want to ride them. But, unless you can really, and if you can even find one that's trained well enough that it's developed correctly. But you always have to go through that period. It takes that long. If you read any book by anybody who's ever known what they were talking about, Klaus Bachenhall, or the Spanish Riding School, or Nuno Oliveira, or Egon von Neindorf, any of the great riders, they will all tell you that, that it takes about 2 years to put the basics on a horse. And that's what we used to expect. Nowadays, people expect that to be done in 30 days or 90 days. And of course, it can sort of be done in 90 days, but the problem is it will cut off 10 years of your horse's useful life if you do it that way. So yes, you can get it done in a manner. Then go ahead and trot.
Ready? And trot. Trot. Come on. Good boy. Come on.
Once again, that's why we're working to develop working gaits, meaning the horse working over its back, and that's why we call them working gaits. And because until you have developed working gaits, there isn't much that you can do other than develop those things. Once the horse has a good top line and can work consistently over it, then we can start asking the horse a lot, and then we start doing a lot of riding. But we can ask for more difficult and complicated maneuvers. But until we get to those working gaits, we're mostly just building it, so to speak, if you will.
Chop. Yep. Chop.
You could kind of think of it, if you were training a bunch of young dancers, you certainly wouldn't expect them to be in the court of ballet, in 6 months. The same thing is true of horses. Not that you can't get on and ride them, but whether it's safe or a good idea. He's looking really nice, really consistent on all 4 feet. And let's see a little canter in this direction now.
Okay, ready? Ready, Calvin? Canter. Come on, canter. Come on.
Keep that one. Good. And let him come back to a trot. That's really nice. You see how he's lengthening that neck out in front of him, trying to find the swing through his back. That's really good. Very nice. All right, as you come to the center line, you can let him walk, and let's get you up.
Okay. And
That was fantastic. By far the best he's looked on the lunge line. Very, 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 very nice. Good boy, Calvin. You're starting to look like an athlete. Yes, I'm talking to you. You look over. Oh.
he's like, I'll be an athlete as long as I get treats in between. Come on. Come on.
Just for future reference, it's always a good idea to unhook the side reins before you lead a horse with side reins on.
Okay.
Only because once in a while, some of them will suddenly react, and they hit those. So it's always a good idea to unhook those before you go. And of course, you want to hook them up when you're out in the ring and never, I see people once in a while, I see them come walking from the barn aisle and they've got them already hooked up in the barn aisle, which is always a mistake.
Yeah.
So put those things on when you're out in the middle and take them off when you're done.
I should know better.
Well, most of the time it wouldn't be a problem, but then there's that one time in 1,000
Exactly.
that it happens the other way and something spooks the horse and it hits the side reins and freaks it out.
And you just never know. I mean.
Yeah, you don't. You must always think that. I always think the worst thing is going to happen. And then you say, good way to think. Fortunately, when I was young, I had every kind of little accident that you can imagine with horses, but I walked away from them all. But every one of them was a little learning opportunity. Don't do that again.
I hear you. I still have like a neck quirk from a really bad lesson for on a pony that just knew he could take advantage of anyone.
Yeah.
At least that was my impression of that pony.
Yeah.
He's still alive today. He's like 30-some years old.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, if you went over a jump and you were slightly forward, he would just flick you off from the back. He would just do this little tiny buck and flick you off over the top. You'd think I would learn then, since I still have the problem of being too far forward sometimes. You think I would have learned, right?
You're pretty upright these days.
I don't know if Ron told you, but we've been having a really hard time with hay around here this year because it was so wet.
Oh, really?
So the hay is just horrible, and so we had coughing problems with a couple of them.
Oh, yeah.
So after we got rid of the sort of immediate issues with the coughing, now we're steaming the hay.
Yes.
I don't know. There's this company that specializes in these hay steamers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's supposed to kind of reconstitute it with water, essentially.
Yeah,
But also just remove any, you steam it so it's hot enough that it actually removes any of the mold or anything like that. If there is anything like that in there, or I should say it kills it.
That's a great idea. Does it make it very wet at the end of the day?
Not super wet. It's just, it's a lot better than rinsing hay because we had to actually rinse it for a while, and that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, freezing cold, you got to rinse the hay.
Exactly. I was like, Ron, this is unsustainable. I'm like, I'm not usually one to say I can't do something, but after a while with that, it was really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? But it has helped a lot. We don't have as much coughing going on. Duke every once in a while will have a day that he coughs a little bit. Not like it was. It was kind of chronic for a while. Okay, you got your ears pinned back. Aw. You don't want me to ride you.
That I did everything else so well. Now you want me to ride? Oh,
Oh,
Calvin.
sorry, Calvin. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
And he's off.
Okay. There you go, Calvin.
All right. Loving the fact that he wants to go. So let's just head on around the arena, working on the stretch. Got a nice active walk right from the very beginning here. So when we first get on, the thing we're looking for is just look for that active swing, steady rhythm in the walk. Before we start asking for much of anything, we just want to let them get used to their weight on their back. Let them warm up a little bit in the stretch, just keeping it active, and we kind of feel that flow. We take that few moments when we first get on to take a moment to stretch, as I see you doing there, stretching yourself up, being sure you're even in the saddle, that you're not going off to one side or another, and you can feel yourself straighten up through your spine. It's a really nice walk in there. Good. Let's just keep that going all the way around down to the other end again. That's it. We're trying to open it up a little bit. And then when you get near the center line, we're going to turn by the center line at the other end and leg heel to the left, trying to keep him as much in the stretch for these first ones as possible. We're keeping that active step. Our goal is always to keep the same step, the rhythm of the step, when we get into the lateral movement. So we could say that the degree to which we can maintain that rhythm is kind of the degree to which you are successful in any lateral movement. Because remember that lateral movements have the purpose of lifting the back. That's why we do it, not just because we think it looks pretty to go sideways. We're looking to engage that inside hind leg and get the push up through the back like that. It's really quite good for him. Not bad at all. Like how he stays in the stretch for that. And actually the stretch got even better. So that's how you know when those lateral movements are doing the right thing, when you feel that the walk gets better because you do it like it did that time. That was really good. Let's do that one more time down the center line from this end. Now that time he kind of popped the shoulder out a little bit too much and kind of left the hindquarters out behind there. Let's go ahead and do that one more time down the center line. We want the shoulder to lead a little bit, but not so much that all of a sudden it just goes 3 foot over to the side and the hindquarters stay where they are.
I felt
so as
that
much
too.
as possible, we want to move the whole horse over. Like that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Very nice. Now that's a nice big step. Well, yeah, there you go. You started to throw that shoulder, but you caught him that time. That was really good. Really nice. And look what a nice stretch you have in the walk. Now, that was excellent. Good. Keep that and change the rein across the diagonal. Really nice walk with him today. So nice when they get to that point where we feel like we're not having to kick every step out of them, which is kind of the way horses come. You know, they're either lazy or they're crazy. We want them all to end up in the middle, but they're usually one of the two of those things in the beginning. And we're either trying to slow them down and relax them, or we're trying to wake them up. Really good though today. Really nice. I like how the stretch is getting even deeper. And we'll turn by the center line by A and leg heel to the right. Good, that's coming nicely. Keep that going. A couple more steps. Good. Very nice, very nice. Now down the next long side, lengthen the walk. Now because that one went really good the first time, no need to repeat it. So we move on. Lengthen the walk on the next long side and then come back toward me in the shoulder in. Or in a shoulder 4, we would call it at this point. Remember, we call it a shoulder in to the point at which the horse can bend the length of its body, which means that it keeps its back lifted the whole time it does that. So in the beginning, when we're just displacing the shoulders a bit to the inside, we call it a shoulder 4. Good. Very nice. That's actually starting to bend a little bit. Really nice. Very nice. Keep that. I like that. All the way down. Very good. Very nice. I like how he's actually getting better as he's going. So once again, that's the first time I've seen that happen with him. Is you get him to engage and the walk looks even better. Tells me we're on the right track here. Change the rein across the diagonal. And then we'll shoulder in, shoulder 4, coming back towards me, still in the stretch. But of course, we have to have it up just enough that you can control the outside shoulder with the outside rein. Really good right there. That's good. Keep that going. Just like that. Good. He kind of fell back for a moment, but you did a good job of correcting him. Now on the circle at this end, stretching all the way down. And really lengthening around the circle here for a moment before we start to bring him up. Really get as big and active a step as you can on the circle. Very nice. Now let's see if we can develop a working walk. So keeping that activity, it needs to be a little more active. Just begin to shorten your reins and bring his pole up. Trying to maintain the step as you do. So the degree to which we succeed here is the degree to which the walk does not change as we bring the pole up and he stays engaged across his back. A little more active, feel it's kind of dying a little bit, so you may have to give him a little tap to remind him to keep working there. Good. Another little tap, a little more active, getting a little slow there, right there. It's not a bad position right there. Good, very nice, like this. A little more active again when you feel him starting to die a little bit. Now, as you come to the rail on the other side, go ahead and keep this working walk about here and go ahead and go large down the long side. Getting a little bit pokey, so remember to remind him, a little tap of your whip every now and then if you feel like it's dying away. Now down the next long side, we're going to do shoulder 4 again, keeping him up in this little higher level frame. Really good though. It's getting really nice. And shoulder 4 on the next long side. Very nice, right there. Good job.
These kick walls, I get my foot against the wall because they're low.
Good. Really nice walk out of him today. Really nice. Right there. Now let him stretch all the way down again and change the rein on the diagonal. And as you do, remember to open the walk. So each time we come back in the stretch, we always try to get that little bit more activity coming through so you feel like it wants to continue. I would say this is the first time I've ever seen this horse where I would say he looks like he has a level of impulsion, that is energy that wants to keep going.
Come on.
And that is always a product of fitness, but yet calmness at the same time. A horse that's just crazy and wants to run is not a horse that's impulsed. Impulsion means we can direct the energy. So a crazy active horse will be, oh, look how forward he is. That's not crazy. That's not forward at all. It's just a horse wanting to run away. Now go ahead down this long side and begin to bring him up in the reins there as you come down this long side. And then we're going to shoulder in again down the opposite long side, going away from me this time. So we begin to bring him up in the reins, just shortening both reins a little bit at a time. Good, keeping that activity. It's really a good working walk today he's developing. It's really nice. And once again, this is the first day we've seen him do it at this level. You see how it's more getting the horse to do it and understand the frame, and they start carrying that way on themselves. A lot of people have the idea that, we have to constantly be, trying to shape the frame, kind of make it happen. But if we do the work right, the horse makes it happen themselves, and they continue to perpetuate the positions that we show them in because they're natural for them. They're the natural positions for them to carry themselves in. Yeah, a little more active. It's a little bit died out there a little bit. You can shoulder off a little bit harder in this direction. Watch that you kind of look like you're slipping off to the right side of the saddle a little bit. Sure, you're on your inside seat bone, your left seat bone a little bit. So straighten yourself if you feel like you're slipping to the outside a little bit. Now go ahead and do that one more time down the next long side, keeping that activity, trying to get a little more. It's always a little more difficult in one direction than the other, but still this is quite nice. The working walk is very nicely there. He's never coming behind the bit. He sometimes comes up a little too high. There we go. That's more like it right there. That's really good. That's really good right there. Right there. That's excellent. Really good right there. Just keep him soft in that outside rein, just like that. And of course, when the horse is correct, it's just the weight of the rein between us. We're never trying to hold the horse into a frame. Unfortunately, many people do these days, and that's where their troubles begin. Very nice. Now, just go large straight. Keep him right where you have him right there, and halfway down the long side, ask him to trot, and go large in the trot ride. That was by far the best walk work that you've done on him yet. Very nice. Now go ahead and work him into a stretch a bit. Let him open up the frame a bit. Get him swinging over his back a little more actively in the beginning. There we go, like that. So what we saw there is he's not ready to just move off of that working walk into the working trot position quite yet. So he did move off nicely without a lot of resistance. A little bit more active, and once again, keep trying to stretch him a little bit. Let's get him swinging a little better over his back as we go large. And on a big circle there at the end there. And let's get him to work into a stretch a little deeper, so a little more active. You have to soften him a little bit. Bring your inside hand to the inside and just soften him by giving and taking a little bit. Let a little go of your outside rein for a minute and see if he'll just begin to drop into it a little more. There you go, like that. Sometimes we have to just throw it away for a second and see what happens when we just sort of let the reins go a little bit. Keep that going, a little more active. There you go, we're getting there. Now come a little bit with your shoulders. This is where you want to be a little behind the motion because he's kind of being a little sticky. There you go. So once the horse gets into the stretch and you feel the back come up underneath you, Then you can sit straight. But when the horse is not ahead of our legs, we want to be a little behind the motion. In most cases, anyway. But once that wave comes up to meet us under our seat, then we can sit straight. Keep that going. Like that. There we go, like that. Good. Let's keep that active. Now go large and see if we can keep this stretch going. There they go. And just continue to go large. Keep them right there. Very nice. There we go. Good there. Now we have it right there. Very good. Now change the rein on the diagonal. And just continue to go large. And now let's circle in the middle there. When you get that middle position right there, let's circle and see if we can get him a little deeper into the stretch like that. Really good. Circle always helps us because we can get that hind leg. And try to push the hindquarters out a little bit on the circle so we get him to engage that inside hind leg just a little bit more. Soften him with your inside rein just a little. Once again, keep giving him a little tap of your whip behind your leg. There you go. Try to get those hindquarters out of it. There you go. Now you've got it. Though. Right there is good. Really nice. Right there. Keep that active. Really nice. There. Good job. Right there. Very nice. Keep that. Right there. Excellent. There. Now you can bring him up a little bit. Now just like the walk, just try to shorten your reins, but keep the same trot that you have right now, and just let his pole come up a little bit. Right there is good. That's good. Right there. Excellent. Excellent. Keep that right there. Excellent. Really good. Really good. Right there. Keep that. Really good. For him, this is a good working trot right there. Keep that going. Now go large. Keep it just like you have it. Really nice. Excellent. Turn after the center line and do a leg yield to the left in the rising trot. Very nice. Very nice. Excellent. Right there. Really good. Keep that right there. Change the thing. Circle again right here. This is a big 20-meter circle. Keeping him right where you have him. He really wants to stretch into that contact today. This is excellent.
Come on.
Really nice. Keep that. Like there. There. Now go ahead on the circle and let him stretch all the way down. And as you do, just like the walk, ask it to come through a little bit more. So as you let him down, see if you can add a little bit of leg, a little impulse, and get him to swing actually and push a little harder. Like that. Really nice. Really nice. Excellent. Really wonderful. Now bring it back up again, shortening your reins. And go large. Change the rein on the next diagonal. Good working trot.
Yep.
And now on the circle, let's stretch him all the way back down again. Taking the circle, let him stretch all the way down, keeping this activity. Really nice. Like this. Absolutely fantastic. Really nice. Good job. Now begin to bring them back up again as you go large. Turning after the center line and leg yield to the right. Very good, right there. Good. Very nice. And back on the circle, stretch him all the way down again. Like that. So as soon as we feel him start to tighten up, we start to lose that swing on the back, just come back to the stretch, let it refresh itself.
I think you might have to poop.
He's been so good. You need to go?
Bobby did. Maybe not. See, he's tricking me now.
Come on, Calvin, we're almost done here. Been so good. Just get back to that active trot again. Anyway, where is it?
Come on.
I was going to say, we're almost done here. Yeah, keep it going. Got to be our idea, though, and not his. There you go. A little more active. We get that big stretch again like that. Good. Really nice. Keep that going. Active. A little more. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. Get it back again like this. Good job. Now go large. Keep that. Now begin to bring him up from the stretch.
Get him up. Good boy. Trap.
There we go. Good. Very nice. Right there. Excellent work. Excellent work. Right there. Keep that a little more active. Very good, boy. Right there. Keep that. Straight ahead. Very nice. Very nice. And go and let him have that stretch all the way down. And back onto your circle again. Really nice. Excellent work. Right there. Really make it work hard. Right there for a moment. We're almost done. Wow. Excellent. Now bring him up in the reins again.
He's like moaning.
Doesn't have to come up much. About right there is good. Right there is really good for him today. Right there.
Come on.
Wow. Don't let him stall on you. Good. Couple more strides. Right there. Right there. Good job. Keep that. There. Now let him walk. I said, I'm done. You may stop there in the center. And actually, I don't mind when it's like that because we kept him going longer than he wanted to go, but that was by far the best ride you had on the horse. I mean, everything just went exactly as it should. That was absolutely fantastic. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought so too, actually.
By far. And that's what happened. One day, all of a sudden, the routine starts to click in. It isn't like such a struggle each day. The horse knows what he's going to expect. He's ready to do what you're going to expect of him.
Yeah.
And the way you go. I couldn't be happier. That was by far the best he's gone for you. I mean, other than that little thing at the end where you starting to get tired there a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what you want to do. Like, don't ever let him just slam on the brakes because he's, always got that. It's always got to be your idea. Because if they do that once, they'll start doing it again and again. So, but that was absolutely wonderful. I mean, I've never seen that was by far the most consistent he's gone. I don't know if you guys remember when we started this process a year or so ago with these horses that he would. He was always looking at the out gate and the difficulty to even get him going, the lunge. I mean, everything is coming together beautifully. So,
you're a good boy.
Excellent work. Questions today?
No, I don't think I have any. I think that the other thing that I think has really helped me a lot was when you were here, really focusing on the contact too and softening the bridle. And so I have that in my mind. I think that's helped a lot.
That's excellent because it really was. I mean, it's coming up really nicely. I mean, these working gaits are developing beautifully. Okay, well, we'll take a little 5-minute break here between the two horses, and we'll be right back for those viewing. And wonderful job. I just, it's nice when you take a couple of weeks off. You realize now just coming out and doing that work in hand, a little bit of lunging is all you need to do to keep them moving forward. That's all it takes. But if you let them sit around and do nothing for that many weeks, you have nothing on your hands. Okay, I'll see you guys back here in just a moment. I'm gonna feed my horses.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, come on. Big grin.
Hey, Will, we are live.
All right, everybody, we're back here. Ron's turn. Coming up with Duke.
Yep. Big playful Duke.
So how's it gone since I saw you last? I know Ron has been very busy as well. So these sorts of
you know, I wasn't very consistent over the last month. You know, probably one or two times a week, but the last week things slowed down, so I was able to work pretty much daily. I took last night off. A lot of the stuff that we worked on, you know, during the last lesson, also during the clinic, I've applied. I kind of stepped it back a little bit, mainly just working hand, lunging, and also doing the walk work with the buggy whip just to get him to activate a little bit more in the walk, and it seems to have helped. So we'll see how he is today.
Well, let's start with that walk work today. You got your buggy whip or whatever you have there for that. Let's start with that today. That'd be good.
I'll grab that real quick.
See how that goes.
Come here, buddy. Come on. It's very playful, this one.
That's very good.
He thinks that we're horses. So he wants to.
Let's play.
Let's play. And that whole thing where he was like kind of rearing up to challenge me, I think that's more of a playful thing with him because he doesn't trigger. So we've nipped it in the bud, but he does start to do it once in a while, but I'm able to catch it before he actually does anything that could be dangerous.
So let's see if we can get a little more now coming down the next long side, see if we can open up that walk a little bit more active. So what we've done here is I suggested that Ron get a buggy whip that he has here so that he can reach behind him and just keep this horse working a little more actively. You kind of have to drag him around the arena a little bit. So we're just looking for him to just stay ahead of the leg there, which is the whip in this case, and just get a good active walk without having to be such a struggle. And it certainly is looking more active than the last time I seen him. It doesn't look like it's labored with every step. It's starting to look like it's going somewhere. A little more active there, coming through that corner, starting to lose it a little bit. See if we can get it even a little bit bigger. Like that, really nice. And go ahead and open it again. See if we can get him to lengthen the walk down this long side now. Even a little bit more. Tap him again. Let me see if we can get a little more out of him. A little bit more walk out of him. There we go. Still kind of. We always have to be sure that when we touch the horse with the whip that they don't just flinch. You know, that they actually step more actively forward rather than just kind of. Sometimes they react to the whip, but that's not the reaction that we want. Is a bigger step forward. So we have to be sure that we get that. So just having them sort of muscle flinch a little bit, which kind of makes you feel like they're doing something, but they aren't really. But when they respond correctly, the step is going to get bigger, like it's starting to get now. Now, even again, a little tap there behind him. Let's see if we can open it up a little bit more now. Like that there. Now we're starting to get somewhere. That's the way. Yeah. But at least it no longer looks like you're just kind of dragging him along every step. So that's really good.
Yep. Come on.
Very nice. So on a circle here. Looking a lot better too. And when you come to the center line, you can halt and put the reins over his head, and let's start doing some work in hand now. And of course, it's perfectly fine to do the work in hand with that longer whip if you find it helps you.
Yeah, I like the other one. I'm going to switch it out. This one's a little unruly.
Q is kind of a funny one that you know, she doesn't like to be touched on her side. So Karen often rides her with a big whip like that to touch her back on her hips. I mean, back on her fleshy part of her butt there.
Yeah.
She's happy about it, but doesn't like to be touched on her side so much. So they're all a little bit different.
Yeah, I noticed that in one of the videos. I was like, huh, that's interesting.
Right.
So I've been starting him out just going large and then bringing him into a tighter circle once he gets warmed up. So whatever you want me to do, it's fine.
Well, that's good. No, I think what you're doing is fine. You did that enough. Now just make it a little more active now. Let's see if we can make this a little more active on the circle. Getting better, even a little bit more so. It's just we have to generate enough to get him to push up to his back. So if we can't get him to generate that, then we don't get anywhere. And that's getting better.
He slows down around in the circle. It's kind of funny.
Yep.
Come on.
Go ahead and turn by the center line and try doing a leg yield to the right to the rail.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
That's more like it. Good. Keep that. Starting to happen there. Good. There we go. Good. Keep that. Good.
Whip's hitting the side reins more than the side. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on.
There we go. Stay on the circle here once and just try to push his hindquarters a little more outside the circle there a little bit to get him to engage a little more.
Come on.
A little more active. Tap again. There we go. Good. Try to make it a little more active. It's kind of slowed down a bit too much again now. I get.
That's it. Come on.
That's better.
Come on.
Now go ahead and switch back to that. I want to see what he does with you to use that other whip. Go ahead and get the other whip in your hand.
Yep.
The longer one that you had, the buggy whip.
Come on, buddy. Come on. Excuse my sniffling.
That's all right.
It's wintertime. It's going to probably annoy everybody online.
With me, it's been my allergies here. It's still like summer, as I said here. We got plants that are blooming.
No, here it's just the hot, cold, inside, outside. All right, come on.
So yeah, let's try it this way. I want you to give him a little tap, kind of, back on that fleshy part of his buttocks back there, and see if we can increase this activity a little bit. Let me see how he responds to that. If it gets better or worse.
Come on.
That's it.
Come on.
Again, tap again. Tap a little harder. There you go. There we go. That's starting to get something out. There we go.
On to something.
Good.
Need a foot dressage whip.
And again, tap again. There we go. Good job there. Good. Now stop and change sides. That's what I wanted to get. See, all of a sudden he gave and started stepping forward and went into the stretch.
Okay.
And same thing this way. What I'm looking for is activity. Again, tapping back there. Once again, that fleshy part of his butt back there. A little stronger, little tap. Tap again. There, like that. That's better. Tap again. That's better, like that. There we go. Good. Keep that.
Gotta get the hand-eye coordination going.
That's it. I know. That's all right. There you go. Like that. Good. Now we're good. Like this. Go. And again, tap. Let me get a little bit more out of him one more time. Yeah, like that. Keep it going. Good. A little more active again. Much better stretch now, at least. There we go. And go ahead and let him stop there, and you can put him on the lunge line. That was much better, and way better than the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
Much less creeping around. But I would suggest using that big whip on your working hand. You definitely got him better with that than you did with the short whip. He just needed to get back and touch him back there. Some of them just need that a little bit. So work with whatever makes it easy.
That's key.
That they respond to for one reason or another.
Trying to figure this guy out. So.
Yep.
So true what you say. It takes 2 years to get everybody trained up and learn all the ins and outs. Just beginning learning all the ins and outs. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I've been.
I mean, that was great with Calvin today because it all came together for him today. That was a great ride with him today.
And he's been looking good too. I mean,
looks good.
He's lifted up. Everything's looking really good.
Yep. You see how his whole posture has changed, and I'm sure he's eating just as much now as he was eating then. But his body is working better, and once we start to ignite the right set of muscles, they start working all the time.
So I've been
training.
Using the side reins down on the girth.
Yeah, I think that's the place. Yeah, I would say so with him. Yeah. Below.
Actually, I've been working a lot with the so single. Just when it's cold out, but same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody. This way. Walk. Ooh. Come. Well.
Funny thing is, I think my horses have a longer coats than yours do.
Yeah.
Must mean it's going to get cold this winter because it's the first year that they've really grown big woolly coats here.
Yeah, Reese and Trigger don't really get that fuzzy. This guy, I think, will. I just think it. I don't know. It just has.
Well, he'll be there by now.
Come on.
No, he looks quite sleek. In fact, just as something to look at, his coat has improved a great deal since even the last time I saw him.
Yeah, and he's put on weight. He's put on about 60 pounds.
That's good. He's got a good. He's looking healthy. There we go. Go ahead and do that. Really good. Really nice. Keep that going. A little more active. Now, if you kind of see him now, if you look at his hind legs, you kind of see how the hind legs are going to fall out behind him a little bit. They're starting to come up under him now. There you go. As he starts to stretch, then they start to stay under him. Good. Just keep trying to build that out.
Drop.
If he comes up like that, you see how the hocks start to move further back behind the horse. Nice. Much better. There we go. Good. Keep that.
Come on. Drop. Drop. Trot.
It's looking better all the time. That's really good. Yeah. Very nice.
Come on. Trot.
Go ahead and ask him for a little bit of canter just to activate him a little bit. But this trot is looking good. It's much better than last time I saw him. Now notice how his belly is also pulled up already. And try that again right away.
Canter. Canter.
There you go. That's good.
Canter.
Keep trying to send that forward. See how he's cantering with the brakes on right now. So you keep wanting to open that up. He's supposed to let his neck out forward a little bit.
Canter.
Keep going. There we go. Now back to trot. Now let him trot again. So that's what I was waiting for, that moment they let his neck come forward and loosen his back. Good. Now let him keep the trot stretch again. Like that. That's good.
Trot.
Very nice. Well, it's looking so much better. Things I noticed right away looking at this horse now compared to when I saw him a month ago, if I look behind the saddle, he's really filled up a little bit. There's still a little bit of a dip there, but it's way better than it was.
Trot.
And this is much more consistent. Very nice. That's excellent.
Trot. Oh, you slipped, huh? Come on.
Your footing looks like it has chilled out.
A little bit.
Or settled.
So still massaging it.
Yeah. Very nice. And go ahead and let him walk, and you can change directions. That was really good.
And walk. And walk.
Much better than the last time I saw him. Really good.
And ho.
Very nice.
Good job, Duke. Okay, walk out. Walk out, come on. Come on. Come on. That's it. Come on.
Good boy.
That's it.
That's a good boy. And go ahead and trot.
And trot. 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 Trot.
Very nice. And ask him to canter as you come around the wall this time.
Canter.
Nice. Yeah, much better.
Canter. Canter.
Keep going. Not quite there yet.
Canter.
Looking for that moment where he starts to bring that neck forward.
Canter. Canter.
There we go.
Trot.
Now back to the trot. Very nice.
Notice he picked up his lead pretty good this time.
Yeah, much better. There, now that's getting to be a good trot right there. Very nice. Now, this is all looking really good, Ron. Definitely improved. Now that's nice. Now that's starting to look like he's not laboring so much, you know, like he's starting to hold it. But that's what we want, you know. We want to have a horse that once we just want to be able to set it up, and we'll kind of go the way where we set it until it gets tired. So that we don't want to be constantly legging a horse forward. We want to get them so they have a motor that kind of runs on its own, if you will, once we get them started over the back like this.
Trot.
Really nice.
Come on.
Yep. Very nice. And you can let him walk as you come over the center line.
And walk. Walk on.
Very, very nice. What a good boy. Now that's such a better walk. A little bit slow there, but keep it active. Keep it active. See if you can maintain it.
Come on.
Very nice. There we go. And you can let him halt and let's get on. That was really good. Definitely has improved a great deal since I saw him last.
Thanks.
Trot is better. The canter is better. Definitely has a more sustained, everything is sustaining itself. Just even coming back to there, I'm nicely into the stretch. Back is really rounded up. Developing beautifully, Duke.
Good job, buddy. Okay, come on. Come here. Give me your head. That's a good boy.
What you doing, Duke? Can you hear me?
Gets all mellowed out once he exercises.
It is. Yeah.
Hello. He's posing for the camera now.
Yeah, he's really filled a lot in that lower back.
Yeah.
Really looks good. He had quite a dip there
He
before.
was
It's really,
super
that's really,
flat here too when I first
yeah,
got him. This is starting to really build up nicely.
that's what I'm talking about. Right in there where you just had your hand. That's really coming up nicely.
Same thing with his neck too. His neck is loosening
Yeah.
up underneath. And come on, bud. Come on. Oops.
Well, let me.
And who? That's it. Good boy. And who?
Oh, there, buddy.
There, buddy. Too close to the camera.
Yep.
Come on. Gotta walk there, buddy. Come on. He's going to the bathroom. Oh.
Yep, there you are, coming back into view. Seems to be okay.
Yeah, I was just wondering if he had to go to the bathroom or not.
Yep.
Come on. This way.
Well, that was certainly the first time we've ever worked Calvin that he didn't. There we go. And just keep trying to open up the
Did it in
block.
the cross ties, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Before he got out here. Yeah, just keep that going to see if we can just keep trying to get a little more accurate. So we're trying to get to that same walk that you had. Come on down to the other end. Darcy, you're sitting there, aren't you, I believe?
You want me to get the other whip?
I want you to get that longer whip. Yeah.
Okay. Come on.
Sometimes just carrying it. A little bit different, touches him in a little different spot. He responded to it well. So let's see if we can get that same thing to happen here. So Darcy, if you could hand him that longer whip there.
Yeah, the buggy whip, yep.
That's the one. Sometimes they just respond a lot better to something touching them a little further back in their fleshy area, their buttocks, rather than on their sides.
Thank you. Can you hand it to me? There you go.
Just be careful that you don't. Just be careful that he doesn't freak out about that when you the first couple of steps. Just be ready. There you go, like that. There you go. I'll give him a little tap with that and see if it's easier to activate him.
Come on.
That's getting better. Keep trying to open that up.
Come on.
That's getting better. At least that's working.
Come on. Come on.
Good. Now come on down the other end. Darcy, if you're still there, I'm going to have you come out in the ring with him and take the whip, and I want you to walk along with him, getting a little close to behind him to see if we can get him to activate enough to get the walk where we need it to be. That's getting a little better there.
Yeah, I'm just not babying the taps.
Yeah, that's getting better. There we go. Starting to get there.
Whip, do you want me to use? Do you want me
I want you to take the one that he has
Oh,
and just
okay.
have that one. So you just walk along, you know, and so that you can touch him in that sort of fleshy area on the back of his butt there. Kind of where I want you to touch him is like above the hock, in that fleshy area above the hock. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like there. There you go. So let's see if we can really get him to walk out down this next one side.
I'm
So you got to stay back a little bit, Darcy. Don't get ahead. So stay back there. Look good. Tapping and again, tap again. Gonna experiment it. See how much he'll let you touch him without he starts to activate a little more yet. To give him a little bit more. Tap him a little bit stronger. There we go. Now it's starting to happen. There we go. There we go.
Good boy. Come on. Walk on.
I think what had happened with this horse's previous owners is that they had sort of dulled him out in that lesson that we saw, what they were doing with him.
Good boy.
With spurs.
Yep. Everything else. Yeah, keep that going all around the area. Yeah, now we're getting there.
Keep walking.
Good. Even a little more active. Every time he tries to slow down, give him that tap again.
Why did you go around?
Oh, you want me to go large?
Yeah.
So you can go either one. Wherever, just keep him going. Tell her where you're going. There you go. Keep that. Keep that. Much better. A little bit more. Tap him again. A little stronger. Here we go. That's getting better. Now go ahead and change across the diagonal, and Darcy, you just let him pass in front of you and get to the other side.
Come on. Walk on. Good boy. That's a boy.
Coming in, huh, Dookie?
There we go.
Walk on, buddy. Walk on.
Come on, Duke. Good boy. Walk on. There you go.
That's it. Keep that going.
Come on.
Tap him a little bit stronger, Darcy.
Come on. Walk.
Increase it by, 30%. There you go, like that. Now you're starting to happen there. So we always remember, whenever we're working horses, this idea of the circle progression of the age. If you tap them and nothing happens, if you tap them the same way, nothing's going to happen again. So we always have to increase the activity of what we're asking, the way we're asking them, to a point. Of course, if we're having to beat the hell out of them to move, of course, that's not what I'm talking about. But some of them, we have to touch them a little harder. They all have a different level of sensitivity. Some have been desensitized, which I think is what kind of happened to this one. Stay back a little, Darcy. Don't get ahead. Good. And I got another little stronger tap there. He opens that up again.
Come on.
A little more. Again, tap. A little stronger. A bit more intensity to it.
Come on.
Tap.
Come on. Walk on.
Tap again. A little stronger. And be sure that you get a response. If you tap it and nothing happens, then you even go slower the next time. There you go, like that. Good. Now really make it open up down this long side. Let me see how active you can get it. I mean, to the point, if he breaks into a trot, no big deal. So in other words, push him till he's almost trotting.
Walk.
There you go, like that.
Oh, there we go.
Break into a trot, then just bring him back to a walk. That sometimes they have to learn that, no, I don't want to trot. There, now we have a better walk. So.
Yeah, we had yeah.
And what we would have gotten there was a lazy. So we want an active walk, not a lazy trot. Sometimes we have to push them right up to the point where they're going to trot before we get that. Which I want you to do that again now. So just keep after him until he almost trots. He starts feeling like he's going to go into a trot. That's kind of what you got to get. A good walk always contains the walk. It should feel like, the walk contains the trot. So it feels like the horse could step right into a trot if we asked him. That's it. Keep that going. And again, try again. Now try to also to give the reins and let his neck come out in front of him so he opens the stride. So keep trying to get him into a stretch at the same time while you keep just working to get that activity out of his back end.
There you go.
There, once again.
Yes, good boy.
There, like that. That's what I want right there. That's the walk I want. There it is. Okay. Now he's released. Now he's actually walking. As long as they have that feeling like the brakes are on, they're not really walking, or are they working through their backs? That's really good now. Just like that. That's really good.
Boy.
That's what we want to see, just like that.
Good boy, Duke.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep that. Now we have a walk. This is really good. This is what we've been working for right there. Keep that going, just like that.
Good boy, Duke.
Yeah, keep that. Now keep walking, but I want you to hand the whip over to Ron and see if he can keep it going, but I don't want to stop him. So if you can kind of get closer to him and hand him the handle there and see if we can switch it over without stopping. Like that. We don't want to give him the idea that we're done. There you go, out in front of you, like that. Now you got it, but stay back there, Darcy. Don't get ahead of his eyes. Stay where you were before. There you go, like that. But he's just got the whip now. There you go. So we only take away one thing at a time. Like that, really good. Like that, it's really good now. The walk I want, like that. That's what I want to see. Now that's the first time we've gotten this kind of walk out of it. That's good. Keep that.
Good job.
Really good now. That's what I want, right there. Right there. Keep that.
Come on.
Good. Now notice how his head's starting to come up now, Ron, which tells me that we're losing that push behind because he's starting to pull with his shoulders instead of
There we go.
propelling himself forward. There, like that. That's what we want. So always notice that. That. Good. A little bigger again, like that. There's what we want. Okay, Ron, when you get on the next long side, ask him to trot.
With that big whip.
Should I get the lunch
big
to
whip.
go with it?
What's that? Yeah,
you
just keep that. All right. Unless you feel particularly uncomfortable with it or something, but it's not that big. Yeah.
Come on. Walk.
And now trot. And say trot to him. What you do. There you go, like that. Like that. So all we're looking for is that same kind of activity. Like that. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Keep that. Good. Keep it. Keep it going. Just like that.
Looks beautiful.
Very good. Keep it going. Little tap. So if his head comes up, you know you're not generating enough impulsion. There, good. Good, 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 good. Now come back to a walk. And keep that big active stretch in the walk. Same thing. Once again, he's not quite stretching into it, is it? So it tells me we're not generating enough. Keep working that. That's getting better. Keep working. There you go. So you get that really good, like that. Really good now. Go ahead and change the rein across the diagonal. Change the whip to the inside. There you go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Find the stretch again, generate some more activity. There you go, like that. Now we get on the long side, ask him to trot.
Trot.
There, good, 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 good. Very good. Keep it there, right there. Good. And it comes up, generate a little more energy behind. Good, like that. Good job. There, really good, really good, really good. Like that.
This is like the best trot that I've felt in a long time. That I'm not
Best trot you've had on. Really good. Keep that going. Really good. And again, every time the head comes up, little tap, activate the back end. Really nice. Now let him walk.
And walk. And walk.
Just turn to the center and jump off because you're done. That was really good. We want him to put that in his mind.
And good job, Dookie. Good boy.
That got to a really good place in the walk and the trot. You feel the difference, how different it is when you get that motor to actually get engaged, and all of a sudden it's easy to ride, you know?
Oh my God, yeah. I feel like I wasn't. Sometimes I'd get off him and it was like tired just from trying to.
You're tired, right? Because, you know, you're exhausted from trying to get him to post. That was really, really good. So this same kind of effect, like with the walk work, it shouldn't take but a few days, and you should be able to do that. But go ahead and keep working with that long whip. If you need to have Darcy on the ground with you, do so a couple of days till we do it, like just the same technique that we just used today, how we took him through everything. But that really got to a great place.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're on to something that, you know, his sides are just, you know, dead from, you know, too much pressure over, you know, trying to get
spurred and kicked and spurred and kicked and whipped and hollow the whole time. So yeah, sometimes we just change up something like a whip, a little bit longer one, whatever, and it changes the whole deal for them. So it's really good. Any questions today?
Nope. I think that.
All right, you guys. That was
got some homework, and I'm looking forward to it. So.
Excellent, excellent. They're going great. I started riding again with Q. Got my saddle hooked up, so I've been riding the last 2 days. Feels really good. A lot of fun.
It felt really good to be back in the saddle after not being in for a month. You know, I think the last.
Yes, it does.
Like 3.
Yes, it does.
So. Good boy, dude.
All right, I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same channel.
Yep. You have yourself a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too, okay, brother. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. There were some good things to learn out of these lessons today. And if you have any questions about them, be sure and just put your questions on the Facebook site, and I'll be happy to answer them as we go along about all this. All right, gang. See you all very soon. Thank you.